All right, so if you're watching this video, you're probably either number one, a Master of the Universe fan, or number two, you're obsessed with Manny Faces, such as myself. He's actually my third favorite character in Master of the Universe, the whole universe of the lore of Masters of the Universe. Anyways, we're looking at all the Manny Faces figures right now that I have in my collection, and we recommend you grab. So this is the comic version Manny Faces that came out last year. A lot of people fell asleep on this one. This is a really good figure, and I'm going to stay true to what I'm saying. What I said last year when I first bought this, I think this is probably one of the best articulated origins figures they've ever come out with. Great waist swivel, great knee crunch there, elbow crunch, the multiple faces that you can change around. It's a nice fresh look of Manny Faces, and also the darker blue, which really worked well on this figure. And like I said, the faces were completely different on this one than, the reissue of the Manny Faces that came out a couple of years ago, based on, of course, the early 80s version, right? So they look at that skeleton face there. I really like it. This is a cool Manny Faces figure. So if you have not added this to your collection, I do recommend picking it up. Now, we're talking about this now because of the whole cartoon origins one, figures that have come out. Did I order the new Manny Faces based on the cartoon collection? Of course I did. Do I really need it? No, but similar to Batman, Wolverine, Superman, they're your go-to characters, right? Sometimes you just buy them, right? And that one's okay. It's more comic accurate because it's taller, right? With his head, his head's a little bit more elongated. Now, this one you get for a pretty cheap deal. And I think this one is probably, again, one of the best Masterverse figures that ever come out. Now, with the Masterverse figures, the articulation on them is a little bit tight. Ironically, the comic version one that you just saw, as we're watching the Masterverse one, and all these blasting effects don't come with it. While this one looks good, the articulation on this one is not as good as actually the Origins one. The Origins one actually has better waist swivel, better posability. It was easier to stand. Masterverse obviously has some issues in terms of their overall aesthetics of their figures, right? So I think Mattel's got to look at that. But aesthetic wise, look wise, excuse me, let me repeat myself here. Aesthetically wise, they look good. Posability wise, in terms of articulation, they've got some issues with their figure. So, but again, if you're a Manny Faces fan, this is a pretty cool figure. But there's a reason why now the value of this one has gone, substantially down since, when it first came out. It was like what, $25.99. Now I think you can get it for like $10 pretty much, right? But still a cool figure. What I like about this one is the aesthetics of it, like, not to harp on the same point, but how you can interchange the faces with it. It comes with multiple faces, as you guys see there. It's not a boring figure. What would have made it perfect is, of course, the articulation. If they gave it better posability, because I mean, look at him. He looks cool. Like Manny Face, the colors just pop out. You could have done so much more with that. Anyway, back to the Origins one now. Here is the one that started it all again. Kind of got me back into toy collecting, because I used to have Manny Faces when I was a kid, and those colors were a little bit bland from the 80s one. This one is vibrant in colors there, and it just, again, if you're when you're watching this, if you're still watching the video, this you're hearing the heman, the song from the 80s when you're watching this. It's just Manny Faces was such a staple with the 80s franchise of Master of the Universe. So anyway, we can ramble on and on here, guys. Those are my Manny Faces figures. Let us know if you got any of them, if you're going to be picking up the new cartoon collection ones as well. All right, so be sure to drop a comment, hit that like button, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.